Do you see that pattern? One or the other tends to follow their full swing more so than having something opposite for short game?
I would say, the best players understand. Let me say this, the pattern, your full swing pattern absolutely bleeds into your short game pattern, and it's a problem because they're opposite in most regards. Almost everything that you want from 10 yards, you want opposite at 300 or 250 or
Mhm.
whatever, and it's very difficult to have 2 different patterns, but I think that's where the elite performance is, understanding what's optimal at both and being optimal at both. Some people think that's too hard, like, and they'll always just kinda handcuff themselves one way or the other. They'll be elite ball strikers, but just okay around the greens. I would put, like, Jack Nicklaus in that category, right?
Mhm.
But I look at Tiger, he had amazing full swing mechanics, and then the chipping was elite, and I would say it was a different pattern. He used a different grip, he used like a 10-finger grip chipping. Where he had, and so I think he had the understanding he needed to be elite at both, and they were different. And I'll tell you a quick story about that. But like 2010, Charlie Hoffman hired me to help him with the bunker and chipping. Well, he was a flusher, from with a 5 iron and a driver. He hit this closed face little cut, and he could repeat. And I showed him out in the bunker how the club needed to be like this, and in the chipping it would be better if he was like that. And his bunker and his chipping got better, but guess what got worse?
His ball striking. Yeah.
His ball striking, and you do not wanna make that trade. I that was a tough lesson. He had amazing people on his team to help him get through that, back to being a flusher again. Yeah, I mean, you gotta be somewhat careful. Now, I have a little cue that I use for my own game, and sometimes I try and get people to understand. It's like, "Okay, well, I'm gonna use this kinematic sequence and I'm gonna have the face open the path. I'm gonna take my glove off. And when I put my glove on, I'm gonna have the face turned down so I can really shift and rotate and compress the ball and have a different kinematic sequence, right? One built for power versus one built for control and being soft. And the key is taking my glove off and on. So, but I don't care how you do it. You don't have, but as long as you keep it straight in your brain. Yeah.
On Charlie's situation, was it just massaging the different feels and then associating one for short game and one for full swing to where he had to, in his
I
own
think
brain, he had to
so.
get
The
those.
reality is like most people, he's just a really hard worker. So he worked so hard on this movement, getting that club open that he didn't realize, but it started to bleed into like his full swing takeaway. He didn't realize that he was making a slight change, but he just worked so hard on the other. So you just got to. I'm just saying, understanding what's optimal in both.
Mhm.
And so the first rule of my golf academy, the second one was you got to get value from your practice time. The first one is you got to define what's foundational. So what's foundational chipping? What's foundational in the bunker? What's foundational in your full swing? All right, now we're going to have simple ways to check them every day. And the quicker we get it done, the better. If it takes 2 minutes, it'll be better than if it took three. But we're always going to check those simple foundational things. So it might just be grip, posture, stance, takeaway, a feeling of this thing at the top, and then maybe one drill to get the impact conditions right or something. But everybody's a little different, but the reality is, yeah, it's hard to keep chaos at bay. And here's one thing I will tell you, Pete, you're going to play golf. At some point, there's going to be chaos. You think you're hitting every fairway and every green and every putts. No, and you're not going to three putt. No, at some point your ball's going to be in a bush a foot and a half up in the air with, it's just chaos is coming. So you got to be good at that. And guess what? Chaos can come to when it comes to mechanics. So we're going to keep it at bay by being organized and have everything defined. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah.